G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an infantry battle rifle. This weapon is based off a prototype version of the FAL. The FAL is a Belgium-made battle rifle, and battle rifle meaning a rifle that you carry around normally, but instead of using the intermediate cartridges, like the 5.56 rounds that are designed to maim and kill your targets, the big 7.62 rounds this thing fires in real life is going to just set out to basically kill everything that you point at. Now, this thing isn't chambered in 7.62 in this mod. It's got the 308s in it, which is close enough. That's fine. That's okay. And where this weapon was developed is kind of interesting compared, or when you think about where the Americana of the Fallout universe sort of stagnated around the year 1950s. They never really moved on from that. And it might be because this firearm was so good, and some would say it's the best battle rifle in the world. Perhaps the FAL was so good that the entire culture stagnated because they realized they weren't going to get any better than this. And obviously, before the Scar H was released in the Fallout universe, which would topple the greatness of the FAL, at least in my humble roofer and non-firearms expert opinion. Well, the bombs dropped before that happened, so we're stuck in the 50s thanks to the FAL. I'm talking out my ass there, but what you're getting is a weapon that is going to be a very powerful thing. This thing is designed for late to end game, so it's going to be playing your combat rifle role, but better. It's going to be versatile. You can fire in semi-auto and full auto form, can use scopes for long range, close range, short barrels, long barrels, everything you need, and a lot of recoil control elements as well, because honestly, you're gonna need it. This thing kicks like a mule with its balls on a barbecue. Now, let's go over to these attachments and we shall get started. So, you've got options for automatic, the powerful auto receiver giving you 153 damage, which is pretty nice with a decent boost in fire rate as well. Let's make our first one sniper status. We'll find the advanced receiver here, almost 300 damage there. A little bit more from the suppressors will be hitting for over 300, but that's a good start for an advanced receiver there. Now, for the barrels, you can have a shorter barrel here. 83 range is nothing. You're going to have to be like in shotgun distance to actually see that work. A longer barrel and a support barrel will give you the best range. And for some reason, the support barrel just gives you a little bit of a bipod at the front. That's aesthetic. It doesn't appear to be changing the weapon in any other way, except for a gun nut rank increase requirement and a little bit of extra value if you utilize the support version. So you know what, for resale value, we'll throw the bipod on it. We've got a full stock right now. You can have a gunslinger stock, which, you know, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because, you know, revolvers and everything. I suppose we've got that pack around the stock there that makes it feel like a gunslinger thing. But what you want to do is chuck on this one right here. Anything to reduce recoil on this thing is going to be massive, so the tactical stock will do you the best. You also got the options for a marksman stock, which will just steady your aim with a scope when aiming down sights. But honestly, just go for a recoil compensating. You don't have to worry about the scope sway that much, especially if you've got a couple of sniper ranks and you can keep your scope nice and steady for a longer period of time. For magazines, we'll throw in a high-capacity magazine. We've got quick eject variants of that, but there's extended and normal versions of those if you feel like it. But we'll go for the highest capacity with the fastest reload. And now we can talk about scopes. These are all full new assets, so if you've ever seen these before, you probably haven't. There's a recon scope. I think, on balance, I want this thing to be sort of like a medium-range sort of DMR-type weapon, which is the battle rifle kind of stretching its role there, but medium scope will give me a good balance between sort of close range potential. It's not going to be as disorienting to use as a longer range scope, so we'll use that one, and we can still be nice and serviceable at range. We're not going to have a huge range stat anyway by the time we put all of the necessary muzzle attachments on this, but it'll be serviceable enough using a medium scope. If it's too far out to sea, then we won't be shooting at it anyway. That'll just cut off all of our damage. Next, we've got the muzzles. We're going to have a flash hider, which will increase your range somehow, probably due to adding a little bit of extra nominal barrel length, a couple extra millimeters. That's cool. Muzzle booster is interesting because it'll actually increase your rate of fire at the cost of accuracy. So if you want to use this thing automatic, you boost that DPS even further by using the muzzle booster there, which I think is kind of cool. Also, better AP costs as well. So if you want to use this thing in VATS with the extra muzzle boost attachment, there'll be a little bit of bonuses there if you're worried about the recoil, of course. Also, a compensated muzzle brake for recoil control. And of course, there's a suppressor, almost 340 damage now. Very, very nice indeed. Legendary effect provided by legendary modification. We'll skip that. And you can change the furniture. Standard is your wood. which means it's law-friendly, right? And there's also plastic. Plastic makes it look sleek and snipery statusy, so we'll throw that one on. No option to remove the carry handle there, and I don't think we'll be utilizing that at all. We won't even be touching that with animations, but there's one of our battle rifles. We'll make a few more of these, and I'll show you how to get them. Also, I'll show you how to get some of these unique variants. There's a few around the Commonwealth. First of the unique variants we'll find right under the castle. So you'll need the Old Guns quest to be active to actually access this place. But once you're inside, just go around like you would normally and just find your way to the end, but not actually the end. Once you get to these power generators, then you know you're in the right place. You take the fusion core, turn around, and you've got yourself the right arm. Extra limb damage, a little bit like the last minute, a little bit of extra crippling, and that's kind of cool. Rapid receiver there with a compensator. Maybe we could put a muzzle booster on that to give a little bit more power or a little bit more DPS, but yeah, cool paint. Also, I tried to find this thing. It's supposedly injected into leveled list, but I didn't find it in clears, or I didn't find it in Arturo's either, and I'm not going over to the I'm not going on to like page 2 of Google to find this thing. If it's not on the first page, then it doesn't exist. Next closest unique is located just outside Quincy Quarries. If you've got all the DLCs installed, it'll be near Vault 88. There's also the Automatoys factory there. That's where all the super mutants live. And you'll find this war memorial just down the road from there, you see. And there you'll find a bunch of crows, but there's also an Anchorage campaign rifle in this duffel bag. This was locked at Master, so bring Kate or Piper along. They might be able to help you out if you haven't got the sufficient lockpick skills to actually do that. But that's cool. We've got ourselves the second unique. Just one more. The last unique is found right here in Vault 95. And as a reminder, this is the vault where they put all the junkies and then locked all the drugs away. And we want to go up there. That's the Overseer's office. So what you do is you run up the stairs, follow this Overseer's tunnel, and then go over here to this door. There's even more stairs up. Make sure you brought your AP along with you and have a sprint up. You'll find the scavenger here. Chance to find extra 308 enemies slain. That's kind of cute. Also a gunner property there, a little bit of green paint. I quite like it. So we're going to do these up a little bit. I'm going to try to at least keep one of these as we've found them, but it's not going to be the case with all of them. But yeah, we'll have a little bit of a play around with these, and then we'll get to shooting things. All right, it's time to begin. Here is our FAL in first person. There's a sniper status one with the plastic handguard that I made earlier, and it looks like there's barely any scope sway at all. I don't think there's any, actually, so that's cool. That might be the power of the tactical stock for you. Here is the second one that I made. This one's powerful auto. This is the one that I can retrieve extra 308s when I've slain my foes, and the recoil on this thing, maybe it's a little bit exaggerated when I was using it with the medium scope, but I thought it was a little bit more than that. I was anticipating heaps more, but don't you worry, we're going to find plenty of recoil. So this is another semi-auto version. This is the Anchorage veteran one. Look at that slightly out of sync, what do you call that? The thing, the ejection port, that's the one. Now, here's the recoil version. So it's a shorter barreled version with a foregrip on it, which you won't hold properly in third person, but first person it's fine. And it's fully automatic with a muzzle booster. This Anchorage rifle also has the muzzle booster as well, so oof, that recoil. We're gonna have to keep that in. We have to reel that in quite a lot when we actually are fighting. But if we're in close range, we should have a easy job just killing him, I think. Anyways, so we'll pop a fresh magazine in, and then we shall get started. Now the question is, do I want to waste AP holding my breath, or do I want to use something like, yeah, that's sniper knockdowns, by the way. That's not a huge surprise considering we're using proper vanilla game spec scopes. That's all good. I think we can not worry about using this thing in slow motion. In fact, we'll just, I mean, holding the breath. We'll use it in slow motion instead. Better use of AP. That gunner there caught in two mines. Where does he want to go? To hell. That's where he's going. All right, they're getting close now, so we'll switch over to our automatic one. And like you'd expect any 308 shooting sort of automatic thing, with sneak criticals, you're going to crush everything in your path. But now, it is time to fight for real. And 109 damage is pretty good, but despite this thing's damage numbers being quite high, it is sort of offset by the amount of, well, the lack of rate of fire there. I've definitely had much faster firing weapons in my inventory before. But once we get in nice and close, utilizing this thing to its full potential and its range, it's doing a pretty good job. The animations are good. War Daddy did those animations, but I think they're quite great for what... Because there's a little bit of weight behind it. There's a little bit of camera shake, but it's not gratuitous where it's nauseating. So, yeah, War Daddy did some good animations. I don't know where he went. I got no idea. Does anyone in the comments know what happened to War Daddy? Because he kind of just disappeared. I don't want to start rumors or anything, but something about Nazi, but that was around the time where he released that MG42 mod, so maybe that's why. Someone's just annoyed that he's made a Nazi weapon, which, I don't know. They weren't too annoyed when that showed up in in Fallout 76. But the FAL, as you can tell, a formidable weapon. Using this thing semi-auto will net you better damage, of course, thanks to its higher damage rating. And of course, you've got a little bit of extra armor penetrating from the semi-auto receivers thanks to riflemen, which is nice. Clocking in 1100 damage on an unsuspecting gunner is a pretty good thing. Now, if you run in nice and close, we can get so much better, higher rates of fire, and we don't have to worry about the recoil as much because, well, the impulse in slow motion, we can click much faster than the game can calculate that properly, so isn't that great? But I think it is time to bring out this old girl. The Minuteman thing. It says, let freedom ring or something. I think your ears will be the only thing that's ringing after firing this thing. The gunners don't agree, though. In fact, that guy had no ears left to actually ring, but yeah, as you can tell, pretty strong. Now, let's go over to this thing using VATS. Huge 78% whiff there. We're playing XCOM, baby. And may as well just add a little bit of extra criticals in the mix because our range and accuracy here leaves a little bit to be desired. But if we can get those shots in, the 3-round burst will get the job done fairly easily. Just rapidly tap firing this thing to make sure the recoil doesn't get on top of me. That seemed to work out pretty well. But you're gonna go through a lot of 308s using this thing. It's got the rapid receiver, so you don't get it firing as fast as that. It's probably a little bit too much. You could probably throw a muzzle booster on a powerful auto receiver, get the best of both worlds, and improve rate of fire on your powerful auto version, which is very useful, obviously. I think we can go back to it. Some of these guys aren't going to be as strong as the next, so some of them we are going to shred pretty easily, but most of them would probably be a big no-no. Like this Gunner Brigadier, he's going to take a little bit of killing to get the thing done, so we're going to throw a couple of crits in his direction. That'll finish him. I do quite like this. I kind of wish I put a powerful auto receiver on it, though, just to see what kind of damage you can get from a muzzle booster. You know what would be really good? It would probably be stooping into overpowered territories. A muzzle boosting suppressor probably doesn't work like that, but you know, it's a Fallout mod. We can do what we like.
Sweet.
Anyways, door breach mode, super slow mode Call of Duty. Eventually kill that guy. Oh, Mysterious Stranger should cover this for me, right? No? Don't know where he went. Anyways, so that there was the FAL, and I would say that despite it being rated as a endgame weapon, I'm not feeling that it's overpowered at all. I think it's been balanced pretty perfectly, actually. It's really good. It feels powerful, but if you miss your shots, if you've got skill issues, this thing, I suppose, will let you down a little bit. The handmade rifles, for example, will be a little bit more forgiving if you do miss a few shots here and there, just because they fire so rapidly, and you might have trouble getting 308s to feed this thing at a sort of mid to late game stages, but by end game you should be swimming in these things, and you can produce them in your settlements as well with the right tools or even mods if you like. So yeah, it's not like you're going to be worried about feeding this thing. And if you're playing on something like survival, where you can get so much more damage per bullet and per magazine and beyond, while I don't think you'll have any problems there either. So yeah, really good. So whilst I'm killing this one here, I've got something to brainstorm, because I've been thinking of a couple of concepts of what constitutes lore friendliness in the mods, and there's been some user input already, so I hope I'm not asking too much of you already, but obviously there's the concept of, oh, it's got wooden furniture, therefore I just should be careful here, because I might actually knock him down and make him stop existing. So maybe we'll just go over to our version. We're not getting sneak criticals here. Oh, it's because there's a bloody ghoul behind him. Well, you're going to die. Well, that bloody ghoul. But I'm thinking there's like a conceptual holy trinity of acceptable practices for saying this weapon is lore friendly. Number one, and Fallout 76 uses this a lot as well, is prototype ex machina. Oh, it's a prototype, so therefore it's lore friendly because it's a prototype, which therefore it comes before the actual thing, which this thing, I'm not hanging shit on this mod when I say, yeah, it's a prototype FAL. It's kind of the thing that Dak does with their rifles, or the team does. It's not just Dak doing it, but he's out there doing a lot of good work. So it's either prototype ex machina, wooden furniture, but I'm missing the third piece of the holy trinity there. I'm also missing the magazine in this weapon. So isn't that fun? We'll add some criticals in the mix here. We'll get through them as much as possible. I think you carry the 3-round crit with the magazine, with this version as well, which is pretty good. I think Mysterious Stranger's shown up again. He's going to get himself absolutely shat on. Yeah, get one-shotted. I'm not even mad about that. And by the time he's got himself down on the ground and ready to fight again, we might be getting ourselves in a nerd rage, which we haven't quite hit just yet. So we will be able to use, what's it called? The perk you get for killing all the bloody synths in Far Harbor. Destroy of Acadia. And we haven't had to utilize that one yet. Okay, we are good. We are good to go. Let's get this job done. Hell yeah. 1300 damage. You love to see it. Alright, so that was a pretty timely use of that, but I want to actually use this thing proper stealthily instead of like getting half injured. So plug yourself in with one of those. There you go. See, Winter got the body overhaul treatment as well. The legs are a little bit bigger now. Looks a little bit more shapely, like a real person and not some sort of Fallout 76 stick figure. All right, this time we're gonna get straight into the action. So what I'm gonna do is hit him a few times. We get a sneak critical for our first shot, but hopefully we get a sniper knockdown somewhere along here. There it is. And whilst he's down all the way over there, okay, the plan hasn't worked as much as I would have liked. We'll add a critical into that. Actually, we're out of criticals. Okay, that bug's down. Ah, the Mysterious Stranger. A timely arrival, I think. Ah, he's targeting that particular vampiric blood bug. Yeah, you better run. Alright, now we're good. Are we? No, there's something else there. Wasted a critical, to be honest. Knock him down. Perfect. Alright. He's seen us. That'll be the broad daylight effect there, I suppose. Let's see. I suppose we can get some of our crits back. And 73% accuracy as a starting point from back here. That's pretty good. We're even shooting him in the head? I think that was weird. Maybe we weren't. It looked like we weren't. I definitely targeted the head. I know that much. Still. Okay. Well, that was rude, but that's put me straight into nerd rage. So, congratulations, you activated my trap card, which I'm going to squander on this thing, which I can barely aim. Maybe we'll go for this one. Alright. Should have a full AP bar at this stage. Got a couple of criticals to use. Oh, the Mysterious Stranger gets one shot again. He's not having a good day, the Mysterious Stranger. I think I've killed him like maybe 4 to 6 times at this stage, or just he showed up and hasn't done anything. Utterly useless. Okay, well that worked out pretty well, don't you think? I suppose we got room for one more monster, so we'll do that. Just thinking about those last fights, I have to admit, without Nerd Rage, it could not have been a victory. Victory? Victory, you say? Master Obi-Wan, not victory. The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun. The Clone War has. I didn't say the last fight wasn't going to be stupid, so I suppose I'll just lure the bears over to us and see what we can do. Or maybe I'll use this version here because,
Right here.
yeah, we see him winter. Maybe take out the little baby ones first. Yes, take that one. Kill him. Oh my god, kill him. I'll go mob duty. Get all these little bastards off us. Ah, it's eating me. Attack them. Oh wow, node rage again. It just keeps happening. Okay, the problem here is that I've made all of the clones look the same, but I've got one specific difference. We've got the leggings on as the camera slowly zooms out in first person. So all he needs to do is target the one with leggings and then he wins the fight. The universe crumbles in on itself. Okay, we did it. We only lost 4 of the clones, which I gotta say wouldn't happen under normal circumstances using Winter's guns, but we're not reviewing Winter's combat rifle.
I live long enough to witness the Brotherhood's next triumph.
I don't think they'll be happy with you, Winter. There's only one original one, and the rest of them, well, they're not synths, at least I don't think so, but they not clones either, so, well, I don't know, we'll have to take them to Sorgus Ironworks and throw them into the furnace or something, because this can't be allowed to stand. 10 winters, that's way too much. Or is it? I'll let you decide. Anyway, so that there was the FAL / Infantry Battle Rifle. It's a very well-made mod. I think I've made my thoughts well known to it. I think it's a perfectly well-balanced weapon. The animations make the weapon feel really good. The damage is not incredibly overpowered. It's satisfying to use. It works well in any role that you want to give it, which is great. Perhaps, I don't know, what could I say to his detriment? There could be more customization for different round types. Maybe like add a little bit more extra like New Vegas flavor customizational ammo just to give you a little bit more. But, you know, there's not a lot you can add to this which will really add too much to the experience. I think it's a pretty well-made mod, and as it stands, it's great. Go ahead and download it. I'll be leaving a link in the description. Highly recommend this mod. And yeah, I think Dak and that whole team has just been really consistently putting out really good mods, and I just got to be careful to download, to not have my expectations. Can't even push this corpse off the thing. I'll just shoot him. There we go. Yeah, sometimes they're not always designed for endgame scenarios, but when they are, it's just good to use because you can use them with confidence. And sometimes they're not. They're made for early game, and that might make them a little bit of a slog to use in these applications. But yeah, they've done really well here to balance this thing, and I think it's worth a download. So go get it. Hey, the hair doesn't have physics anymore. Well, that's weird. Weird plastic hair. Maybe I'm playing as a clone right now.